In today's video, we are going to study a game played between Paul Morphy and Jay Shulten. This game was played in King's Gambit Declined, Falkbeer counter Gambit in New York 1857. Okay, let's go with our game. E4, E5, F4, and D5. This is the start of the Falkbeer counter Gambit. Now the standard move is E into D5 and E4. The point of this move E4 is that Black does not want his opponent's knight, white, to come to this square immediately. And reason to sacrifice the pawn over here, which black can take, but the reason behind playing this move is that he want to go for an early and fast development. And the second thing he wants white from stopping playing this move immediately, d3. Knight c3 by white, putting pressure on the e4 pawn, but d3 is another try also. Now black would go for knight f6, now d into e4, and now knight into e4. Here white can develop simply by playing the move knight f3, and now sorry bishop to c5. But instead of this version, white went out for the move knight c3, and now he's attacking the pawn on e4, so protecting it. Knight to f6, d3 challenging the pawn on e4. Now bishop b4, developing the pieces. And remember that in this Falkbeer gambit, you are attempting to develop your pieces. You are sacrificing to develop your pieces. Now bishop d2 by white, and now what is the move? The move is e3. The whole point of this e3 move is that you are hindering white's development, normal development, and you are opening this file to king in just one stroke, in by just one move, because now white has to take, and now you castles. Now see, this whole file is opened, and this king is not nearby to castle immediately. Bishop d2 back, getting knight of the pin. Now what? Bishop into c3. What is the problem? In the game, it was taken with the pawn into c3. But what happens? I want to show you that bishop into c3 is being played. Then rook e8 check first, bishop e2, and now knight into d5. And this pawn is also a goner. If white tries to protect it by the move queen d2, now queen e7. Now see, there is a lot of pressure over here on this file to white king. So that's why he took it with the pawn and still protecting this pawn over here and protecting these squares. White is protecting these squares. The whole point of this. Now rook e8 check and bishop e2. Now this bishop is blocked. Can you take advantage of this? Yes. Then what is the move? Pause and think. The move is very simple. Bishop g4. And here you may see that by sacrificing the pawns, black can take this pawn. But he's putting more pressure on this white king by developing his pieces. This is all about Falkbeer counter gambit. And now here c4 protecting the pawn on d5. Now c6, a natural move. The point is that it allows to develop the knight over here on c6. Then this knight would be coming over here on d4. And you does not want the knight to be developed. But in the game, he made the blunder and he took the pawn. Then what was the best move? The best move was that this bishop is really annoying. It was time to give him some challenge by playing the move h3. After bishop into bishop, knight into e2, now c into d5, c into d5, queen into d5, and now white can castle. And this was the best way to play. The position is equal, although it seems that white is a pawn up, but black has a lot of counterplay. But in the game, he went wrong and he played the move d into c6, pawn into c6. Now what happens? Knight into c6. And this threat of coming the knight over here is very dangerous one. So how to avoid it? The best way to avoid was playing the move bishop c3. But still, black goes for knight d4, bishop into d4, queen into bishop, and now c3, sacrificing the pawn. Because this queen is eyeing this diagonal, these squares, it was time to give back the pawn. So queen into c3 check. Now king moves to f1. And here black is already very much up in development, in attack, and in position also. And he's roundabout winning. But at least black can try to hold for some more moves. But in the game, he immediately went for the move king to f1. And from over here, the combination starts. I want you people to pause the video and think that what is the best way to win in this position. It is a combination. Think of it. This bishop is weak. If we can take this bishop, this knight would be coming with threat. The point of taking this bishop is that in a way that it is still pinned to this bishop. So we are going to take it with the rook. After knight into e2, now knight d4. You are still pinning this knight. And the best move, at least for best try in this position, was rook to b1. The point was that now if queen d7, protecting this bishop, and now black is bringing this rook over here. Now white can go for queen e1. Now bishop into knight check and king g1. Rook e8, pinning the queen. Now h3 first. Bishop into d3. And now white would have to give up the queen. Sorry. White would have to give up the queen to continue the game. But in the game, he went out for the move queen b1 and it loses on the spot. The reason behind is that now bishop into e2 check, king f2. Now knight g4 check. King moves back. I want you people to pause and think, it is a mate actually, that what happens if white plays the move king to g3. Have you seen the mate? If not, I am going to show you that king g3. Now the move is knight f5 check. This knight is protected. King h3 and now knight f2 check. A very beautiful mate. As all these squares of the king has been covered. But in the game, he went out for the move king g1. Now knight f3 check. Why knight f3 check? The point is that you want this square to be vacant for your queen. After g into f3, now queen d4 check. King g2, queen f2 check. King has to move forward. King h3, now queen f3 check. And now king to h4. And now knight h6. And I want you people to pause and think this is mate in 2. I want you people to give the mate in the comments, or if you see it, this is just a mate in 2. That's why here J. Shulten resigned the game. If you like my video, kindly subscribe and hit the bell icon button. Thank you very much.